It happens before you know it's happening.
Yeah, I just like wasn't aware of it yet. It wasn't. I eventually became like consciously aware of it and like consciously made an effort towards it.
Yeah. Because you
And
realise that it's a thing now.
yeah, I think it was like 2016 maybe. God, it feels like it was so recent, but also feels like it was so long ago. But like I always had like experiences and stuff as a kid, and I was always drawn to things like pertaining to energy, but I never realized that's what it was.
Yeah. See, I know as a kid it was always magic and like witches
Yeah,
and
all that fantasy stuff.
making potions and
Yes.
just things like that. Finding rocks and just pretending they were magic.
Oh, hell yeah. That was always like my favorite things was I would always be collecting rocks and really anything from nature, but especially the rocks.
Yeah.
There's like something outside my window, I think, that just started being very obnoxious.
Badger. They heard us talking earlier.
Yeah, right? They were like, I'm gonna come here.
You say my name?
How dare you talk about me?
But yeah, I do like it does happen without you realising, and when you do realise, you are quite far along.
Yeah. Like all the decisions you start making, all the things you start drifting towards, it's like you look back on it now, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
look at that. I was doing stuff. I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
But now that I do, now I'm gonna make an effort to like really learn about all the energy stuff and how this works and learn just how fucked up I was and how much stuff needs to be healed and whatever.
That's the thing that can go so deep.
I know. You open that one little door,
Especially
drop down that one little rabbit hole.
but especially when you don't know anything to look in, and then because everything does present itself.
It does. And it like always would, everything like whenever I was like going through something and there was something specific that I needed to like either help me with that process of working through it or healing something or just understanding something or whatever, like whatever it was that I needed would just always suddenly like, oh, here it is. It's gonna pop up and make itself aware.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need.
Hello.
It wouldn't really always be obvious, but it would be like, you know, suddenly there was like a book that I really needed to get some kind of information out of, or like a person that had something that would just suddenly come into my life for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really be aware of it. But, you know, looking back now, I'd be like, oh shit, that person really taught me some stuff. And that really helped me.
There is the other edge of it though, of finding people that don't help.
Oh yeah. That kind of...
I found that when that happened, that there was all of a sudden a lot of people that were very quick to shut down.
Yeah. Absolutely. Be like they had like other other beliefs or something, and like because you were starting to stray off and do something different,
Yeah.
they didn't like that.
Yeah.
You weren't fitting into that mold anymore, so it was like, nope.
Yeah. And
We need to fix that.
they always go to the, I don't know if it's something that's like bred into us, or how people are raised to just automatically like attack and put down when someone says something that questions like your belief. But it does seem like a lot of people do that without even thinking.
They do. And it's really sad. Like I can understand why they're afraid of it.
Yep.
Because like they have their little box that has their beliefs and perceptions and everything in it, and if something that you do or think or say or whatever doesn't fit in that box, then like it's unknown and it's scary, and this is the only thing I can see, so you need to be in here too.
Yeah. It's kind of like Santa Claus. When you're a kid and you're told that Santa's gonna come, and then when you grow up a little bit you get told that Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's where it comes from, because as children we were lied to.
Yeah, right.
So maybe it comes like from there, and that's why everybody does it, because we were all told the same lie.
Yeah, right. We're all taught this belief, and
yeah, Santa's fault.
we pass it down, not realizing that this belief is like a huge filter or a block or just very limiting and
yeah, I just
beneficial whatsoever.
I just wish more people had compassion.
I know, that's the thing. That's like being somebody who is like very empathetic and compassionate and caring. Like, it's not something that I can fathom why people immediately jump towards aggression. And
it's not always aggression though. Sometimes it's just like, even with like having an idea and someone that won't work.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah, not like a physical aggression, but just like a.
Oh no, I mean like in the sense of they're not going to call you an idiot, but they'll be like, oh, that won't work.
Yeah, right. They're very quick to downplay and dismiss whatever it is and be like, no.
Yeah.
But like, well, how about you try it first and see for yourself?
Yeah, because it doesn't take much to just be like, great, go for it.
Yeah, right. And especially like if it doesn't, the one that gets me the most is when it doesn't even pertain to them.
Yeah.
When it's like, you're literally the only person it's going to affect. So like, what do they care whether you try something or not?
Yeah.
It's almost like because they're not aligned with it, it's not going to work for them. So therefore they don't want it to work for anyone else because it doesn't work for them.
Mm-hmm. Shit, that's scary, man. We went through that.
Right?
I tend not to think back. Because I'm always like, here now.
Yeah, right. I don't need, or I should say I don't need to or necessarily want to look at my past. But there are, you know what, there are occasions where I don't do it intentionally, but it's more shown to me.
Yeah. By
like people in my life that I used to be at the same point as them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like now when I interact with them or like observe something from them, like whatever it is, I'll just like kind of sit there in disbelief of like, holy shit, I really used to be that way. I really used to be that limiting, and even kind of like, I don't want to say mean, but like be that way of like dismissing other people's, ideas or thoughts or whatever, and be that person that said, oh, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. That's not gonna work. Because it didn't work for me at that time.
But that's the thing.
Or it's something that I'm told shouldn't work.
But when you look back on yourself doing that to another person from our current perspective,
yeah,
you can see and be like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Be like, why was I
Yeah. Like, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, I see like the personalities and whatnot of what I was raised with, and I'm like, okay, well that makes sense why I was that way, but also,
yeah,
why did I choose to be the same? But then again, at the time, like, I probably didn't know any different, because that's how it was. Like, you look up to those people, like older than you, people in your family, and just any adult really, and are like, well, they're supposed to be role models. They know what's going on. They know all about life. And
you see, that is such a
true.
That is such a messed up perspective, because like, I used to think that about my parents. Like, you know what you're doing. You're my mum and dad.
Exactly.
But now, from my point of view, with my children, they're looking at me being like, you've got your shit together, And
then you're like, oh my god, I so do not.
Yeah, it's like, I've never done this before. Each day is a new day.
I don't even know what my shit is.
Yeah.
Have it together.
And you don't know.
You really don't. And then you think back to that and you're like, man, did they think the same thing that I do now?
They had to have. They really must have. Every parent,
right,
doesn't know what's to come.
Right. And you're just like, I'm just hoping that I get this at least semi-right.
Yeah. I think that's why sometimes, like, when you have like multiple children, I think that's why like the eldest always comes out different, because they're your experiment. They're the ones that you're testing it on. And then the next one down is like, okay, I remember this part.
Yeah.
I think that
kind of comes back to you and you're like, okay.
Yeah, that's why we all
a little bit differently this time.
Yeah, that's why we all, like, siblings all have their own quirks, because depending on the order.
Yeah.
Like a ranking system.
Yeah. And every sibling is treated differently, and that's exactly why.
Yeah.
It's levels of experimentation here.
Parents don't know. They're learning too.
Yeah, exactly. We've never done it before.
It's great though.
And then even so, every single child that comes in is gonna has a different soul, a different energy. So some things are gonna have to be different.
See, I know.
So it's essentially an experiment all over again.
But from me and my journey, I've been able to see the energy in my children and what they can do, whereas with me, that wasn't really seen.
Yeah, right.
It was just, you go to school now.
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yes. And anytime you did like try to share like some kind of experience or thing or whatever, then it was either deemed as it's not real, it's just a dream, or that's what crazy people say, or something like that. So then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't, all these bad connotations. It's like I don't want to be something that's bad.
Yeah. You see, my mum, she started having her awakening and looking into everything. And she even had Reiki done and would go and see these clairvoyants and all things like that. But then I was already beyond my point of having any connection.
Yeah.
So we missed each other. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because I genuinely believe that everybody does have in their life a spiritual awakening, a pull towards something. Some just don't follow it. They distract themselves. Others, I think, fall into religion because that's kind of like a safe place.
Yeah. It's like a socially accepted.
It's more of a physical place that they can go because they're still so attached to their physical.
Yeah.
Having a church or mosque or something, it's easier for them to do that. But then I think they get held there because then they get particular beliefs set upon them.
Yeah, you kind of get stuck in that.
And you can't ask questions or explore.
Yeah. And that's really sad because, like, even in, like, with, like, the religion stuff, like, yes, there is energetic, like, roots to it. But like you said, like, it's so, like, kind of stuck in the physical of having to have this building that you go to and have these,
set prayers to say, and it's structure.
Yeah.
Like, we are creatures of habit and structure.
Yeah. And, like, that's totally fine if that's what helps the person, I feel like. But, like, you have to have that ability to, like you said, go out and explore all of this stuff. Like, explore that knowledge, explore the energy and how it works, and
like
learning new things. And
when I've looked into, like, scripture, the way I view it is that it was people speaking about spirituality in physical form for physical people to understand.
Right. Which, makes sense. Like, our...
Yeah.
At least, at the time, like, it's difficult to understand and really wrap your mind around something that's not physical, because that's not something that we are.
No, we're really not. And, like, people have become trapped within that and forget that you can't see it, touch it, hold it. But just because you can't doesn't mean it's not there.
Exactly.
And I see it as like it's like a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone has a spiritual awakening, and
Yeah, I think it's just like a matter of what you do with it, how you move through it,
yeah,
and
and your vibration as well. If your vibration's not high enough, you can't break beyond.
yeah, right. That's the thing is like then
You stay.
if you're not doing, if you don't do the work to actually heal everything, like heal yourself from whatever past traumas, whatever inherited traumas, like you won't raise that vibration, and then you either end up like flowing along with that awakening
Yeah,
and doing all those said things and raising yourself up to a much better place, or you have your major breakdown.
yeah.
You hit bottom. You
I
fall.
wonder if like, I don't even know if it is like a actual proven thing, but like men in midlife crises where they'll go and get a younger woman or buy a sports car.
Yeah, right.
Do you think that could be theirs? Because men mature later than women.
You know, it's very possible that it could be that for some people.
Whereas
I-
it just,
uh,
something just goes boom, and because they
yeah, like
don't know what to do.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy a car.
You kind of like hit that realization, like that finality of the physical.
Yeah,
And it's like you
panic.
I feel, I mean that would kind of make sense though, like because if you are raised up high enough, like to a higher vibration, then you are in a place where the finality of like physical life is not exactly going to matter to you. Like you're not gonna like
No, this is,
necessarily like fear it. You have an understanding of it
yeah,
and an acceptance of it. So yeah, I mean maybe that whole like midlife crisis thing is that where like they have that sudden realization, but they're not at a high enough vibration to where they have like really fully understood that.
yeah. So it just goes back to the physical.
Yeah, so then they're kind of stuck in that physical realization of like, oh shit.
I need more things.
I'm continuously getting older, continuously, I'm not that young stud I once was or whatever, so then they need to like rejuvenate that
Yeah,
in some way instead of rejuvenating it like energetically and moving on and up and understanding that like, well, all the shit about our bodies breaking down when we get older and all that, like all that stuff is beliefs. That's all limiting beliefs. And it's, the whole death thing, like,
I'll have you know,
yeah.
my body cracks in ways that I could never have imagined.
Yeah, all the joints and stuff.
Yeah, I don't I don't want it to happen. I tell it not to happen, but it still happens.
Yeah, that is a belief that I'm working on, slow but sure, to really release that.
A lot of it though is damage, like past damage, where it's not taken care of and abused, and it's just,
Yeah, right.
it will never get to how good it could be because you've fucked it up, basically.
Potentially.
I've fucked it up, but still feeling good.
And the feeling good is the part that counts.
Exactly. The clicks go along with it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need theme music when you move.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's my own theme music when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'd never thought about that with midlife crises and...
Yeah, me neither, actually. But it does make sense that could potentially be the case. I mean,
that could tie in with so many other things.
it really could. It really could.
Where like people are wanting it and maybe going towards it too, and they just can't understand.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like it very well could be as simple as the expectation has been put out there.
Yeah.
That, oh, once you hit this certain age, you're going to have this experience. You're going to have this midlife crisis. So it's just like...
Our lives are set out like that, though, because they're like, you're going to go to school and college, and then you're going to get a job, you get married, buy a house, have kids.
Right. You hit this certain age, you have a mental breakdown, you do something really stupid.
Yeah, then you retire and you have a beautiful garden.
Yeah.
But it's like, and generations have done it before us.
Right.
They have lived and done the exact same thing.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that, you know, whether you think you believe it or not, it's just kind of like a subconscious programming of, this is the linear pattern of life, and that's that.
Yeah.
There is no altering from it. So it's like, whether it's something that you even think about or not, like, it could be a subconscious programming in there. Saying that
we need to change it.
Yeah.
You're gonna...
That is the biggest part of my journey that I've been working on.
You're gonna go on a journey. You're gonna do what you love.
Hell yeah.